Hi everyone, welcome to the video. Thank you for tuning in. We have a few stories to cover today, but before we begin, as usual, none of this is legal, tax and or financial advice. Please always do your own research. Another thing, if you're interested in sending me an email, I've recently created this email address linked to the channel, cclogic@protonmail.com. Alright, back to the news. Litecoin has been surging amid the upcoming block rewards reduction. Litecoin's market cap recently increased by $2 billion, leaving Bitcoin Cash behind. Now, as the bullish trend continues, the question is, will Litecoin flip XRP? 55 days from today, Litecoin will go through a fixed process called halving that reduces the rewards miners get for mining a block, which in turn reduces its rate of issuance. Miners who are currently being awarded 25 new Litecoin for every block they solve will only be rewarded with 12.5 Litecoin per block after the event. There's a tweet as well from Charlie Lee, still very active in the space, despite selling all of his holdings at the peak of the bull run at the end of 2017 and early 2018, which caused a lot of controversy. As the date approaches, Litecoin's market valuation has been increasing, leading investors to believe that there is a correlation between the two. Since the low of $22 on the 14th of December 2018, it went up 480% to reach a high of $130 per Litecoin. I think that should be June the 10th. Binance gives some thoughts there about it with the price, or the graph there, showing how the price has increased over the time, and then also talks about the mining return on investment as well. Further information there. According to Charles Hayter, co-founder and CEO of CryptoCompare, the recent surge can be attributed to the upcoming block rewards reduction. Similar behavior was perceived in the previous and only halving event that Litecoin has had since it went live on the 13th of October 2011. The block reward reduction took place in August 2015 and then went from 50 to 25 Litecoins per block and then halved again, as mentioned, in a couple of months. As a side note, we've got the block rewards halving countdown, so 54 days left. And further information there, back to the article. The rest of the article is mostly about technical analysis and the market sentiment as well. I just want to point out, Joe Di Pasquale, CEO of Bitbull Capital, pointed out that the 120 resistance level could have impeded Litecoin from surging higher, but now that it has surpassed that price point twice, the bullish impulse is likely to continue. And then Luke Martin at Venture Coinist also gives his input. Matty Greenspan at eToro, who's gone under the alias of Crypto Dog, believes the cryptocurrency has been leading the recent bull run in the market and will keep diverging into the bullish side there. His thoughts there, and the rest of the article, as I mentioned, about market and technical analysis. I'll let you read that if you'd like. What are your thoughts about that? Now, I just want to point out, I'm not a maximalist of any kind. I just want to see the whole space thrive in general. I want to mention that the Ripple Insights blog here has this headline announcement here. Ripple officially launches operations in Brazil, and then various announcements there from the Ripple team. It's good to see that these events are happening to help facilitate the spread of XRP. I'm a big fan of that crypto. I see it revolutionizing the cross-border payment system and just it being used in the mainstream, say in the coming years. It should be very exciting overall. To answer this question, could it overtake XRP? I doubt that. So let's have a look at the prices whilst we're here as well. As you can see, Litecoin overtook Bitcoin Cash, and then now XRP there is about double the market cap of Litecoin. Now, I just want to point out, it's not worth being too worked up about whether XRP overtakes Ethereum or Litecoin overtakes XRP, so on and so forth. A few months back, there was this event when Ethereum was really dropping, XRP snuck in a second spot, and then that alternated for a bit, probably over about a 6 to 8 week period. And since then, as we can see, Ethereum has maintained second. I don't think it's really worth devoting a lot of energy worrying, who's going to get which spot. Let's just see how the overall market goes. We want to keep on improving the fundamentals, and we want the overall crypto space to take off. We want to see a good bull market. Of course, everyone's waiting for a market cap of over $1 trillion overall. Bitcoin getting over 25 to 30K, and then the whole space 4 or 5x. Let's see what happens. Let's go on to the next article. Coinbase is in the news with this crypto debit card. Video corresponding to that too on CCN. Coinbase is expanding its crypto debit card into 6 more European countries on Wednesday. After launching in the UK in April, the company saw extremely strong take-up in inverted commas, for the card and blew past the initial target of 1,000 cards. It will now roll out in Germany, Spain, France, Italy, Netherlands, and the Republic of Ireland. And an announcement on the Twitter page there. Coinbase card lets anyone with a Coinbase account in a supported country spend their crypto instantly worldwide. Since launching in the UK, Coinbase card users have been spending their crypto as easily as the money in their bank accounts. End quote. And there's the announcement there. And an announcement on the Coinbase Twitter page there as well. Okay, back to the article here. It's a first small step towards consumer adoption of Bitcoin payments. However, the card doesn't pay the retailer with crypto directly. Instead, it converts Bitcoin into either sterling or euros to make the payment. Coinbase takes a flat fee for the conversion. It's a start. Now, is this a game changer to try and increase the adoption? One user, so crypto advisor Sam Volkering, said it was, I do quote, by far the best and easiest UX I've had for any crypto payment card. Another Coinbase user said that he'd rather pay with Bitcoin directly, but was still impressed with the experience. And it's only still a tiny part of the overall ecosystem. Despite the excitement, there's a long way to go before crypto payments become mainstream. As CCN reported, only 1.3% of Bitcoin transactions came from merchants. That means that almost no one is using Bitcoin to buy things. The Bitcoin economy is still mostly about speculation, not a global payment system. A quote there. For the US, the rollout of the Coinbase card is expected to follow, understandably. Gemini recently teamed up with Flexer to launch Speden, an app that powers retail crypto payments. Give it another 3 to 5 years and this will start to really get mainstream, I believe. The name Bitcoin, I guess being the most prominent crypto, becoming more common in, say, modern parlance, you could say, but not enough. We're still a long way from it ever being a household name like Google, Uber, Apple, so on and so forth. Good news nevertheless. It's a start. Now, I just want to point out as well, I felt a bit guilty. I don't know if anyone's pointed this out. I do mention Coinbase quite a bit here and there. I do not get any payment from them at all, not a single cent to talk about their product. I just think they're probably one of the most user-friendly exchanges and apps out there. I used to be a bit critical in the past because they took forever to add assets. But since then, they've added more assets, they've improved the customer service, at least from my experience, and there's good competition out there. You know, Binance, there's other exchanges, you've got Bitstamp as well, and a few others. I don't use that many, to be honest, but there's a list of crypto exchanges in the description if you're interested in looking at all the different ones available, something that best suits your needs. I always encourage people to look around and just see what's out there. I'm not here to particularly preference one coin or exchange or payment system over another. Moving on to the next article, and coincidentally, this is about CCN, and as you've probably noticed, I tend to use CCN quite a lot for my reporting. Before I actually go into the stories over the past day or two regarding CCN, there's a reason why I tend to preference certain crypto news websites over others. I've specifically sought to use websites where they've given me written permission to use their content. There have been, about 8 or 10 have given me the green light and the thumbs up, and I do appreciate them for doing that. I'll list some of them in the description, and here and there you'll see me go through them. Now, the point is, a couple of major websites have actually been very rude and have either not responded to several emails, or one abruptly and rudely said no and was very unprofessional about it. So as a consequence, I will give preference to CCN and some other websites to get my news. Now, CCN has been in the news because Google, as part of this Google Core update that happened earlier in the month, I should say, it caused a huge nosedive in traffic going to CCN based on, the Google search results. In the space of a day or two, the traffic dropped by more than half. And then on the smartphone, it dropped by 71%. Now, that's insane. For a company that's been around for 6 years, it's grown steadily to, I think they said it was about 60 staff, permanent staff. This puts it all into perspective. The price, it plummeted. The core update then caused the traffic or the visibility here to just nosedive, which is absolutely insane. And people could say, they could scale back and things and all, but no, that doesn't work, especially when you've grown the team. There's been this steady growth, and then that happens. That takes a huge hit on everything, and that's just not fair, in my opinion. This has had a major impact on the operations of the team and the long-term viability of CCN. Well, at least this was yesterday. Other crypto news websites also reported a major decline in just such a short period of time. And then the director at CCN actually asked a question, is this a crypto crackdown by Google? And it's a great article. I encourage you to read it. I'll provide a link in the description below. Further info about who benefited and who experienced a major loss from this. That was yesterday, although today it looks like there's been a resurrection, so to speak. The editor, Jonas Borchgrevink, pardon my pronunciation, Jonas, I do apologize. He's written this, and I'm going to quickly just summarize the key points here. So, dear readers, thank you so much for your love. It has overwhelmed our amazing team and me this week. We've received hundreds of supportive emails and messages and tweets. We've also received all manner of helpful feedback from SEO experts and product experts in Google's Webmasters Forum. So, despite the significant drop on Google, there has been a positive sign is that the former name of CCN cryptocoinsnews.com is reappearing in Google searches, which is odd because 2 years ago they made the switch they changed the domain name. It's good to see that there's been some boost in the Google searches for that, but in spite of this is just mind-boggling. I don't know why Google's done this to then significantly cause a substantial drop in traffic overnight or just in the space of a couple of days. Whether or not the Google core update is to blame from earlier this month, we are fixing it. We're receiving help from multiple SEO teams to understand what has transpired. There's still a good chance that this won't correct our visibility on Google overnight, but I am hopeful we are on the right path to figuring it out. Enough said, CCN.com is back. I'm so glad. I was honestly worried for a sec, and I was about to make a video yesterday giving a bit of a rant about the fact that we cop a constant battering from so many people in the space and false accusations of cryptocurrency being fraudulent, useless, and it's going to die, and everything's perfectly fine in the system now, even though we know otherwise, so on and so forth. I'm somewhat reassured, but there's still nothing certain really. I really hope CCN does well. If there's a way, Jonas, if you happen to be listening to this at all, anyone from or affiliated with CCN, if there's any way people can contribute to keep the website afloat, not just afloat, but we want it to go back to a thriving position. So Blockchain Life 2019 Asia gave them CCN the Best Crypto Media Award. They also point out here as well, I remember reading, we are true to the crypto community with our slogan, we are anti-elite, we are anti-centralization. And they've maintained, and it says here, meaning no political agenda from the editorial board. So they've allowed a range of opinions, and they've opted to be as impartial as possible. Something that I admire. It looks like they've grown from the grassroots as well. Two very thought-provoking pieces. And quite touching, considering looking back at the history of CCN. I hope there's a part of me that always thought it's going to pull through and keep on kicking along. Anyway, it's not a promotion for CCN. It's not fair that so many of the cryptocurrency websites have had a drop. Anyway, that's a wrap for the video. Thank you very much for tuning in. What are your thoughts on these different articles and the announcements and news that we've had in the space? Something that you're willing to share at all, let me know. If you have any comments, leave something in the comments section, or just want to say good day. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to share it with anyone who you believe will benefit from this, I highly recommend that. If there's anything I've missed or I've made a mistake at all, just point it out as well. I do apologize. That's a wrap. Thank you again. I hope you're all having a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. I will chat with you soon. Thank you all for the love, and thank you all to the subscribers who have just joined the channel. It means a lot to me. I do appreciate it. And I'll chat to you soon. See ya.